Thanks. All right, good afternoon everyone. I can see from my faithful clock that sits here in front of me it's 3:30, so we may as well get started. Welcome to this special meeting of the Douglas Shire Council being held on Thursday 20th of May 2021 at the Mosman Council Chambers. I hereby give notice that in accordance with section 277E of the Local Government Regulations 2012 that the special meeting of council will be restricted in numbers of public attendance because of the health and safety reasons associated with the public health emergency involving COVID-19. This special meeting of council will be available to view via live stream on council's website and will be available for others to watch at a later time. I would like to acknowledge the Guugu Yalambji people who are the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, and would also like to pay respect to their elders both past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians who may be listening or watching our meeting this afternoon. Start with attendance. All councillors are present. Thank you very much. Of course, our CEO and our staff are here, the media team, and we have some members of the gallery. Any conflicts of interest to be noted, councillors? None to be taken. That moves us on to the agenda items as listed. 3.1, which is the 2021-051 Daintree River Ferry Service contract, and that is that council resolves to enter into contract 2021-051 Daintree River Ferry Service contract with Divers Den Investments Proprietary Limited, ABN 11627245649. And that also that council delegates authority under section 257 of the Local Government Act 2009 to the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate, finalise and execute any and all matters associated with the contract. Is there a mover to start this off, please? Councillor Scomerson, seconded by Councillor McEwen. Councillor Scomerson, would you like to speak to the motion?
At this moment, I'm quite happy just to put it on the table, that's all.
Thank you very much. Anyone wishes to speak against the motion?
Yeah,
Councillor Nolly.
Thank you. So I will be speaking against this recommendation. So the recommendation today is to pass over a local family company in favour of awarding a contract to a non-local company. Now the non-recommended company would bring with them an unparalleled local knowledge of the ferry, the river, dredging and navigating this water system and their proven support system of this specialised work. So I ask, what is happening to our local contractors? What is happening to Do It in Douglas? What is happening to election promises? As this decision is linked to Tuesday's meeting of 2 days ago, I will reiterate that on 3 formal occasions, so that means 3 formal council meetings, I had offered a better solution to the recommendation that was passed. Now, we have bought a ferry for millions, and we should be, we have now bought a ferry for a lot of money, for millions. We should be in a different situation. We should be in a situation of taking substantial revenue, which equates to the easing of the burden on ratepayers. We would be using a ferry predominantly run on solar power and not buying a 15-year-old diesel ferry. Above all, that purchase on Tuesday was done without so-called community consultation and transparency. And I mean, how many ratepayers knew that was about to happen before Tuesday? So now we've been asked to go into a contract with non-locals, and I will not in any way, shape or form support that recommendation.
Thank you, Councillor Nolly. Anyone wishes to speak in the affirmative? Supporting the motion?
Yeah, I'm going to support the recommendation of the officers. Just purely on a business case of the savings that we're going to have, the experience of the other operator. I understand it's not a local, but I think this, as we've gone through the last 12 months, this is extremely important bit of infrastructure in the Shire. And I think the work that's in the report and the discussions we've had about it, that's where I'm heading.
Thank you. Anyone wish to speak in the negative? Councillor Zamataro?
Thank you, Mayor Kirsch, through you. Look, I've just got a couple of things to say. I'm pretty much along the same lines as Councillor Nolly, but I'm sort of wondering why we're sitting here even discussing not awarding this to a local company. It doesn't make much sense considering we've had the Do It in Douglas campaigns. To award this company who knows the river, knows the operation of the ferry, knows the ferry itself, would be a painless transition. I mean, this has already cost the ratepayers quite a bit. I mean, I think we should be giving back to them. This company would have 100% local employment, 100% local employment. And I think we need to be going with the local company to support what we've been, all our election promises were about. Yeah, so.
Thank you. I mean, basically all I want to add is I think that I'm speaking in the affirmative of this because this company, Entrada, which is Divers Den, a tourism-based company, it's a customer-focused, experienced in the region, they're experienced in transport, they've got significant asset backing, and financially I think it's a far better option and, short-term and long-term financially for the Shire. So that's all I'm going to say to it. Councillor Scomerson, would you like to close off any remarks since you opened it?
Yes, I will. I will support the work that the officers have done on this ferry tender. What I'm looking at is value for money for our ratepayers. We had to fork out a considerable amount of money to buy the ferry because we really didn't have any other options. Councillor Nolly is saying we have better solutions. What they weren't tabled.
3 formal meetings.
So, but you didn't table them the other
So I
day.
did, I looked at the minutes. There are motions.
That's fine. Well, the only other option we had, what the outcome of that was, legal advice. So I'm looking at value for money. This is nothing against the other tenderer. I think they would have done just as good a job, but we're looking at value for money here for our ratepayers. We've already had to pay a considerable amount of money for the ferry, and that was our cheapest option at the time, and I will dispute that. And so I'm quite happy to support this recommendation.
Thank you. So we'll put it to the vote then. All those in favour of carrying the motion? Councillor McEwen, Councillor Scomerson, Councillor Kerr. All those against? Councillor Nolly, Councillor Zamataro. The motion is passed. There's the only agenda item that we have today, so that concludes the meeting at 3:37. Thank you.